A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, it is a period of blackmail and red herrings. An invitation comes to 6 double-dealing degenerates for a dinner party none of them will ever forget. As the bodies start to pile up and secrets are slowly revealed, this motley ensemble has no choice but to trust each other, even if that means a hilariously fatal mistake. The subject of this episode is a movie from the 1980s depicting the 1950s and includes comedic material surrounding sexuality and non-white cultures typical of both those time periods. Please proceed according to your needs and comfort level. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. The views expressed therein are solely those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views of their employers.
Hello there, and welcome back to 6 Degrees of Star Wars, the podcast where we explore all the ways George Lucas's flagship franchise surrounds us, binds us, and penetrates us in the landscape of cinema. I'm your host, Sam Marchioni. Joining me tonight, Captain Teal.
Ahoy! My last time on this podcast, I said, I want to watch Clue now.
James Brown.
Ow! That was terrible.
And, Gillian Quigley.
I am your singing telegram.
Bang! Otherwise known as Charlotte Driftwood, Kyle Calgren, and Gillian Quigley. Welcome, everybody, to our review of the 1985 cult classic, Clue.
Something about 1985 film starring Christopher Lloyd.
You had a good year that year.
And Michael J. Fox if you like Teen Wolf. I do. He doesn't.
It took me a very long time to watch Clue, and I think I watched it because of Tim Curry, but what's wild is that Tim Curry is the person who is making this a degree for, along with Christopher Lloyd. Tim Curry took over for the original Palpatine in Star Wars, the Clone Wars animated series, so he became Darth Sidious, and is there anything more perfect than Tim Curry playing a Sith Lord?
Ooh.
Is there anything more perfect than Tim Curry? You didn't need to add a qualifier.
True enough, but also we had Christopher Lloyd make a one-off appearance in an episode of The Mandalorian that made a lot of people angry for a lot of really weird reasons.
Why were they angry again?
Something Lizzo and Jack Black, something
right.
Mandalorian lore, something I don't care.
You know, I prior to discovering the Star Wars fandom, I used to think that fandoms were about, like, a group of people that like something.
Yeah, no. Star Wars fans hate everything Star Wars. The more you hate Star Wars, the more a fan you are.
You see,
This is how it works. It is nothing but the dark side.
This is the way.
It is the way. Actually, what degree is it if a original cast member of the first Star Wars film was originally slotted to play a main character in this movie?
I was just about to get to this. It is not a degree 2, because unfortunately, Carrie Fisher had to drop out due to concerns over her health and going to rehab for her alcoholism and drug use. We support her choice to take care of herself, but man, do I want to peek into that multiverse.
It's also kind of a ripoff of Murder by Death, which is the movie that Alec Guinness was working on when he received the Star Wars script.
And by that, it's a ripoff, and then there were none, because...
Well, Then There Were None is a perfect book, and everything should rip it off. That just makes things better, in my opinion.
Even with that original title, that's a perfect title? Wow.
The theme is about them encountering both their crimes and their colonialism. So, like, the title fits the theme.
Oh, wow.
Okay, but at what point does it stop being a ripoff and start just being tropes?
Yes, no, a ripoff of And Then There Were None is a genre, not a category. Also, I at one point messaged Tony Goldmark saying, have you ever met someone who just really didn't enjoy Tim Curry as an actor? And he said, no, I've never met the Tooth Fairy either.
Tim Curry really is carrying this movie. I think he's the one who gets the most funny stuff to do.
My tiny little teenage comedian brain changed forever when I saw someone jogging while reenacting the movie we just watched at a mile a minute and doing perfect impressions of the other performers. I was just like, I know what my life must be moving forward.
Movies should do that more often, because what if I had to go pee while something was happening? I can just watch Tim Curry do a recap.
This and Betrayed in The Producers, and that's it.
Does the Olaf recreating the first thing in Frozen and from Frozen 2 count as completing that trifecta?
Oh, God,
Well, no, because if you left the movie, all you really get is Elsa's hearing voices.
Mm-hmm.
It has to come at like the 11 o'clock number spot.
So the miniseries where Olaf just recaps Disney movies then?
Nope, still doesn't count.
I'm gonna show you all a little, just because Olaf came up. When that movie came out, my voice was higher. I was 20 years old. I didn't have as much vocal cord damage. And I got messages from people I haven't talked to in years every day saying, hey, that snowman sounds like you. And that's why I pivoted.
I'm so sorry.
That's why I pivoted to voice actor, because it was just so easy to voice shitpost as Olaf, because that was just my normal voice at the time.
So as we were watching this, which ending did you guys get?
What?
All three, obviously.
We didn't watch this in theaters, Sam.
God, I should have made it clear that was a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, really ahead of its time in making a playable movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need
choose your own adventure, but you choose by deciding which theater to drive to.
We need to pull back and put this movie into the proper context of other movies like it, like the Sonic films and the Minecraft movie.
Oh no!
What? How? Wait, what?
It is based on a game.
Oh! I'd say it fits closer with Battleship in that regard. When's Don't Wake Daddy coming? Who's your casting choice for Daddy and Don't Wake Daddy?
Okay, but going back to it, Clue is based on a game, and it utilizes gameplay elements in it. Like, there are multiple endings, there are pieces, it's set up to be essentially played. I mean, Tim Curry essentially plays the player, taking you through it.
Now I'm just remembering that I have a Clue game on my phone, and I can usually win a game of Clue in about 20 minutes on my phone, because if I'm playing a computer.
I can usually win a game of Clue in 20 minutes. Sorry.
Isn't there a speed run of a Clue game that's like 5 seconds?
That's hilarious. I don't know. I've never played Clue, actually, but I do this part.
Actually, it's a 24-second video. The actual run is 0.733 seconds.
That's hilarious.
I'm gonna go check speedrun.com and see what's up.
Yeah, I did laugh really hard this viewing on. We just have to figure out who killed them in what room with what. And I'm like, yeah, that's what you have to figure out. That's correct.
Current any percent speedrun is 0.583 milliseconds. Computer percent, which is at all CPU players, 33 seconds.
Nice.
Well, if it's all CPU players, that doesn't really count.
It's a real John Henry situation here.
I mean, before I saw this movie, I grew up in the era when Clue had a bunch of like Encyclopedia Brown type books with little mysteries, and you would read them and then turn the book upside down to get the correct answer. I was very into the Clue Junior ones because Miss Scarlet in that one was Miss Samantha Scarlet.
Yeah, no, that was my foray into the mystery genre, was not the Clue Junior, the Clue novelizations. I'm writing a murder mystery now, so clearly it had an impact on me. Those are good books. I reread them recently. They're pretty simple and basic, but it is funny that the plot, there being multiple books, requires them to constantly try to murder each other and then forgive each other for it. It's like, water under the bridge. Who here hasn't tried to murder someone else here, you know?
Literally just pieces on a board, endlessly moving.
Yeah, the one thing that I think differs from gameplay is that we have stairs involved.
Right, there's an upper floor.
And there's extra characters.
Oh, yeah, there are extra characters. It's kind of easy to forget the extra characters, not just because they keep getting killed, but because compared to the rest of the cast, they're kind of underwhelming. I mean,
bite your tongue. Do not say that about Yvette.
Does she count as a secondary character, or is she part of the main cast?
She's not. Well, so interestingly, in the novelizations,
in the context of this movie,
Yeah, in the
If we're
novelizations,
talking Oscar categories, would she be in would she be in lead or supporting? Okay, she'd be in supporting.
supporting.
This would
Yeah.
all be supporting because it's an ensemble cast. But I mean, talking
So-
about the 6 ensemble members who are named characters from the game. So that's Eileen Brennan as Mrs. Peacock, Madeline Kahn as Mrs. White, Christopher Lloyd as Professor Plum, Michael McKean as Mr. Green, Martin Mull as Colonel Mustard, and Leslie Ann Warren as Miss Scarlet. Those are comedic titans of the 80s.
Oh my god, yeah, this cast is insane. This is like my wife hadn't watched it in a while and didn't remember what actors were in it, and I just listed those off and Tim Curry, and she was like, I love all those people.
She literally did the Lucille Bluth with Gene Parmesan.
It was Gene Parmesan. Yeah.
and then that's why in Arrested Development they eat sandwiches that have mustard and Parmesan on them, but no Kraft. Interestingly enough. No Kraft cheese though.
One thing that bugged me about the movie, maybe it was a deliberate choice, but still, none of the characters wear their right colors.
Their cars are the right colors, though.
Their cars are the right colors.
It bugs me too, Kyle. It bugs me too.
Some of them have touches of it, but definitely not like there's a bunch that don't wear
Mr.
the
Green's
color.
suit is blue.
It is.
Miss Scarlet's dress is blue.
Yeah.
Mr. Mustard's coat. All right, brown mustard is a thing, but okay, Mustard wears brown.
Yeah, but it's not like a
Mr.
nice
White is wearing
Dijon.
black. Mrs. White is wearing black.
But she is white, Kyle. So
And she's a Black Widow, so
She's white until she gets all red from the flames. Flames on the sides of my face.
Famously ad-libbed Madeline Kahn, a treasure.
yeah, I saw an interview on a TikTok clip of an interview with the writer who was talking about like because this is so tightly written. This is like a stage play with the level it's tightly written and rehearsed. It is.
I
so
want to see this
fun to
entire
watch.
cast in a production of Noises Off.
Oh, same.
Yes.
But he said that like he
This
had
is
a
textbook farce.
he had a rule that was
slamming
no
doors and no sardines, but
he had a rule that was no ad-libbing, but like Madeline Kahn said, can I please try something for this take? And he said, the writer was like, it was instantly better than what I had written. And then the interviewer asked, so what had you originally written? And he says, I don't know. I don't care. Oh my God. I love Madeline Kahn. I love Young Frankenstein. I love Blazing Saddles. Which you
I love
couldn't
Better
make
Call
today
Saul.
because people would just say, wait a minute, this is just Blazing Saddles.
but they did, and that was Paws of Fury. Legend
That's
of the
true. That is true. That joke doesn't work anymore.
You can't even have Blazing Saddles, but with funny animals because of woke.
You can't. They did make Blazing Saddles today. They proved them wrong. Sorry.
I'm honestly shocked that this hasn't been due for a reboot, but I guess, people aren't really playing Clue as much anymore.
Yeah.
I've been thinking
They're
about-
adapting other video games.
I was thinking during my several watches, like, how would I cast this with, like, recent SNL or Mad TV alum? I'm just like,
okay, go on.
I hadn't considered it, but I'm like, David Cross, Colonel Mustard.
That's good.
I can see that.
I'm just like,
Yeah,
there has to be a Mr. Show guy. There has to be some other Mad TV guys. I'm the youngest person.
I
on
would
this
just cast
show.
it with all Mr. Show guys, but that's just where my preferences lie.
Fair enough.
Oh, and then Tom Kenny could be Mr. Green.
Yeah.
As fun an exercise as it is to think about who else could be playing this in like a reboot or anything, I think that it's also, this cast is stacked and the script is good, but at the same time, it doesn't feel like the script is playing to a lot of strengths of the actors. In particular, I'm thinking about Christopher Lloyd, who we generally think of as a very bombastic performer, and he's given very little material here.
He does get a couple moments of getting to do the Christopher Lloyd talking very quickly while screaming thing, but it's like 2 or 3 moments throughout the movie.
Yeah, he's subdued. He's a very subdued creep in this film. That's his whole
don't know.
He's a
character.
very subdued weirdo. What
That's
the
why I
heck was he
compared this
doing here?
to a stage show. It doesn't feel like a movie feels like it's written for the actors and they rehearsed right before they went on set. And this feels like it was written as a script with no actors in mind. Then they auditioned and rehearsed the hell out of it. And like the blocking is insane. You do not see blocking like this in film anymore, of just like everyone turning and sitting and in the right point to be on the right point of the stage.
As quotable as a movie this is also a very gifable movie. Also
Yeah.
very full of every reaction.
I just started laughing when I thought of Tim Curry falling out of the icebox and then immediately talking while laying on the floor like a corpse.
Honestly, if you told me that Tim Curry's stroke was a delayed reaction from doing that scene in however many takes,
Oh
I
my
believe
god.
you.
Oh my god. Wow.
God, I love no, so Tim Curry is perfect in everything he's been in, pre and post stroke. He's so terrifying as Auntie whispers just in Over the Garden Wall, just using what his normal voice sounds like now and reuniting him with Christopher Lloyd. I agree that, but again, that's why I say this feels like a stage show. And as my wife is Russian, so as I was showing her a bunch of like these comedies that were formative to me, but she wouldn't have necessarily had exposure to, I started to realize, oh, I think I just like comedies when they feel more like a play than a movie.
Ironically, it is a play now.
Yeah, I would love to be in it. Oh my god, I used to. My friend Tyler used to host Clue parties where they would gather in whoever's dorm had the exact right number of rooms and like make prop weapons and like play it like the board game, but in an actual space, and like dress up and role play their characters. And Wadsworth had become a dream role of mine, so they would always like Skype me first, and I would be like introduce the rules of the game and get to like improv with the actors as if I'm like the VHS board game host.
I think that's something I think about it for murder mysteries in general is I feel that a murder mystery is at its best if you can be following along and trying to solve it, which is part of why I had a harder time with Glass Onion than I had with Knives Out. Yes. Because with Knives Out, there is enough information, but with Glass Onion, you kind of have to know the big reveal in order to be following along with everything that's going on. And I think for a first-time viewing, that's kind of undercutting it a little bit. But this is one of those ones where, in part because you have Wadsworth going through everything, and they had to write it in such a way that you could plausibly play any of the endings, it works a lot better, I think.
So there is foreshadowing to all three endings that is allowed to be ignored if you only received one of the endings. It's such insanely tight scripting that I am baffled by every time I watch it.
Also, on rewatch, a lot of the foreshadowing shows up in multiple endings.
Like the monkey brains shows up in
the monkey
two
brain
different
thing.
endings.
It does.
80s.
Yeah, no,
why did we keep doing that?
No, I know. This was a year
I blame
after
Spielberg.
Temple of Doom. Yeah. Did Spielberg have anything to do with this movie? He had anything to do with most movies.
I know John Landis had to do.
John Landis, who, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that was back when the two of them were still talking.
I mean,
I was born in Washington, D.C. I guarantee you, I could put my feet to the pavement. I could find a place that sold monkey brains. Enough time, enough just footwork. I'm pretty sure I could find a place that sold monkey brains in D.C.
Well, with enough time, the monkey brains could write Shakespeare, so...
It is also very interesting to do more research into the film and find out that apparently Stephen Sondheim was initially tapped for this.
Yeah.
Stephen Sondheim from Glass Onion.
Stephen Sondheim of
Vlogs Among Us buddies.
Didn't Stephen Sondheim host like murder mystery parties for his friends and colleagues? So yeah, makes perfect sense.
If he did, I've kind of had that overshadowed in my brain from the Angela Lansbury story about, Stephen, what are you doing with that young man?
Oh,
he
no.
wanted to be... He wanted...
Stephen Sondheim for Mr. Green. Cut the homophobic ending for Mr. Green, just have it be Stephen Sondheim.
Yes.
My take on that ending, that marriage may be lavender.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Green by Icon.
Or Mr. Green, in your case, or non-binary lesbian who chooses to maintain masculine parts of their appearance.
He didn't lie about being gay. He lied about being Secret Service. He didn't.
Oh, there we go.
And McCarthyism and the Lavender Scare is still in full swing, and he doesn't want to get fired from the FBI.
Unfortunately, we do have to say, Mr. Green, no cops at Pride.
No cops.
Yeah. I saw an interview with Michael McKean, being asked, like, what quote do people shout at you from your works? And he said, people always scream, "Are you going to go home and sleep with your wife?" Which is very inappropriate, but I do always say, yes, actually. And the first two things I saw Michael McKean in were this and the terrible live-action remake of Year Without a Santa Claus, where he is the snow miser and Harvey Fierstein is the heat miser. So I straight up thought he was gay okay, so he's Harvey Fierstein's brother and he's Mr. Green. And also my wife only knows of cool. I was about to tell a story about how iconic he is, and then I brain farted on his name, Colonel Mustard.
Martin Mull.
Yeah, my wife only knows of Martin Mull from Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and I'm like, you need to understand, he is such a comedy icon that was considered him slumming it.
I mean, considering that in the future he would go on to work for Butch Hartman, I think we need to readjust our perspective on what slumming is.
No, I think that's the issue with a comics comic, is they're going to be respected by their peers, but also take any jobs they're offered. But Feudal and Stupid Gesture, fantastic.
I hope they all had fun making this movie.
It seems like they did. I do worry a little about Yvette's actress, how much her body is on display and how much every single actor has to shove their face in her cleavage. But it generally seems like they're having fun. They have amazing chemistry together, all of them.
I want to know what cup size and band size Yvette has and what that bra is made of to be holding stuff up. Hook a girl up, Yvette.
French secret, or fake French secret, as we later learn. She drops the accent in her very last scene.
Yeah, I don't think anybody ever doubted that she wasn't actually French.
There are characters in American movies that are supposed to be French that sound like that.
Okay, you cannot count that one person with the deep French accent in a French period piece where everybody's singing and everybody else has English accents, okay? That's just a standard of the genre now, okay? Ewan McGregor and Miranda Richardson and Sacha Baron Cohen are that's part of the gig.
And Jerry Orbach, right? No.
Well, yeah,
we are so poor, we do not even have a language. To steal a line from Mel Brooks.
Wonderful.
Hey, this movie stole an actress from Mel Brooks.
Yeah. No, I mean, this is a very Mel Brooksy movie.
All right.
I have a theory, and I don't have any evidence of this. I have a theory that they offered Madeline Kahn Miss Scarlet, because that seems more closer to her Mel Brooks performances. I have a theory that she requested Miss White. I have no evidence to say this, but
I actually think that Miss Scarlet does read as very Carrie Fisher.
True.
If any of these roles were written for a specific actor, I think Miss Scarlet was written for Carrie Fisher, and John Landis did have more of a background working with her because, he had Blues Brothers under his belt.
Blues Brothers, yeah, fantastic film as well. Although we don't like John Landis.
True, yeah.
He did kill children with a helicopter. It's so blunt to say that, but it's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not saying John Landis was, a good person or anything, but he has a story credit on this, so I'm guessing if anybody tapped Carrie Fisher, it was him.
Yeah, sure.
Not like that. I'm
No, I mean, that's a famous Carrie Fisher quote. I love that one where she says,
"And in conclusion, Your Honor, I hope I slept with you to get the job, because if not, who the hell was that guy?"
A joke she told all the time.
Speaking of tapping that, was Clue always this horny, or do I just get more of the entendres now?
Are you asking if the board game was this horny? I think it depends. Yeah, the movie did. Well, I guess I was about to say, yeah, movies don't change, but I guess this is the one movie that can change for what you. Well, okay. and the subject of the podcast can change from when you first watched it. But I thought you were asking if the board game was this horny, which is a funny question that I wanted to explore.
But please explore that now that you brought it up.
Well,
have any of us had a steamy session of Clue at any point in our lives?
I mean, I've had a steamy session of Twister, but who hasn't?
I haven't, but that's the ace life. And to answer your question, I'm not sure, but I do know that there's a Bridgerton Clue now, so, like, maybe, because that's what I think Clue is using to stay alive at this point. It's just different reskins of the game, because I remember a Simpsons reskin that I would play all the time when I was a kid, and, like, that Clue game I mentioned having on my phone has, like, a skin for the Wild West, and a skin that's ripping off Death on the Nile, and a skin that's at a ski chalet, and a skin on a yacht. So, at this point, Clue's main way to stay alive is just tie-ins.
Yeah, I mean, the characters in Clue kind of don't exist, which this movie explains with their aliases. They're not using their real names at this party. So yeah, they can kind of be interchanged with anyone without it really affecting how the game works. So it works.
Again, literally pieces on a board.
Yeah.
Being moved about. Which makes the detailed backstories that every one of them has so impressive, honestly.
Yeah, yeah. Very, very, and then there were none, but yeah. They're all being blackmailed. The reason Lee Ving was cast as Mr. Body was for the pun of Mr. Body will be leaving soon. He's a...
That was in the IMDb trivia. It was in there, yep.
He's a musician and not an actor, and I did not catch how bad his performance was when I watched this as a teenager, but when I rewatch it as an adult, there are a few moments where I'm like, they could have just put an actor in this role. If you're not going to even use the line, Mr. Body will be leaving soon, then, like, that line's not in the movie, so, like, they could have just cast an actor to play a character.
I mean, to be fair, he's also working against some of the greatest icons of all time.
Then get an icon. That's one day of shooting. You could probably pay someone scale for that. You could probably get a movie star. These are all, like, at this point, mostly known as TV actors. Christopher Lloyd on Taxi.
Michael McKean, Laverne and Shirley.
But yeah, and my wife noticed it too, where she was like, the Mr. Body guy die? And I'm like, yeah. And she goes, okay, good.
He literally only has to show up and die.
He does have to do a Three Stooges blink in the eye there for a bit.
There was that, yes.
Really, the person who had the easiest shoot, I think, was probably Jane Weidlin, the Singing Telegram.
The easiest shoot.
Hey.
I keep accidentally opening doors and Charlie walks right through them.
Like,
yeah, that's what doors are for, bro.
Bits of my soul being carved out with each pun.
No, I'm very pro pun.
That's why Clue prevails.
I'd forgotten that there were two chandeliers, because I remembered the chandelier that fell from the whole 1 + 2 + 1 + 1 thing, and that getting shot down in Scarlett's ending. But I'd forgotten that there was another chandelier that fell as well.
In the same spot somehow.
Yeah.
And it's the same actor reacting to it, so I think they only had the budget to drop one chandelier and they just worked it into the shoot twice, because the first time it happens you don't see it hit the floor, it cuts to a close-up and then we see the reaction shot when it's already shattered, and then later we actually, at the end before the freeze frame, we see it actually shatter behind him. So I think they could only destroy one chandelier and they worked it into the plot twice, or they have two chandeliers in the same spot at the same house, or there's a missing scene when we're watching them all splitting the party, which you should never do. Affixing a new backup chandelier. Or it was a chandelier hanging off of a chandelier. And, like this, like a top chandelier hanging from the ceiling, and then a chandelier hanging from that chandelier. The first chandelier fell off the chandelier, the second chandelier fell off the ceiling.
Okay, Phantom of the Opera, chill out!
A double-decker chandelier.
Question, Hill House. Does Shirley Jackson's estate need to sue?
It's a house on a hill. It's not specified if it's haunted.
This was the viewing where I had to, like, process, like, why is it set in New England? Like, is it just for, like, the aesthetic? Because I don't really have an aesthetic I associate 1950s New England with, but like, they don't learn this is related to their blackmail until they arrive at the party, which means these people who all live in Washington, D.C. got an invite to drive, at the minimum, if we're talking the southernmost part of New England, which is Connecticut, 7 hours, and maybe more than that, because I don't think cars went as fast back then. So, like, why did they go?
The plot had to happen.
But but also, you could just write any location in front of a set, and I'll believe you. They chose to write New England there. Like, I watched Supernatural, so I've seen every city
I'm so sorry.
No, I love Supernatural. Every city in these United States be put as a label over what is clearly Vancouver. So, like, they didn't have to write New England there.
There are mansions in Maryland. They could use Maryland.
Yeah, Maryland or Virginia. That's what I was thinking.
I think what it might have been is that they're trying to make this effectively a sting operation if you're going with the idea that either Wadsworth or Mr. Green is FBI.
FBI is in Quantico, Virginia.
I'm aware of that, but if something goes south, do you want it to be nearer to Washington, or do you want it to be out in the Berkshires of Massachusetts?
Okay, what about Pennsylvania then? Cut the drive half and still accomplish that. New Jersey. New York City.
We are not ceding more ground to New York. New York has enough. New York cannot keep taking stuff from me.
Ex-New Yorker. I have no leg to stand on here.
Bostonian. I have everything to stand on.
Yeah. Oh, so you're like, we needed this! As someone from New England, you're like, this is our movie now!
Listen, the 2016 Ghostbusters shot in Boston. I work on the street that was in the 2016 Ghostbusters movie, and they still called it to New York, and I'm like, why?
That's cool as hell.
Yeah, that is cool. My memories of walking past filming locations are mostly Sopranos related.
Everyone's so hot in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's another reason why it's up in New England. Does New England have a greater population of swingers?
States
maybe
with highest
maybe
swinger.
Maybe they set the movie in the 50s and held auditions for the cop character, and once they cast a black gentleman, they're like, let's just not put this in the South.
Except he still works in the South because he's a DC cop on Scarlett's payroll.
Oh.
DC isn't the South. DC is in hell.
And what direction do you point to when you refer to hell, Kyle?
True.
I mean, at least we know that's not a new development.
No, okay, I was born in DC. DC is in denial about being in the South. I know we're south of the Mason-Dixon line, but you know.
Which is really weird, because Maryland really thinks they're in the South when they are not.
A lot of Northerners think Maryland is in the South. But it was a border state.
A lot of Northerners act like they're in the South, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania.
Hey, you know what we need? Let's have a new Civil War and figure it out once and for all.
As someone from the South, no!
Please, no. Then we get Alex Garland making bad movies.
Hey, don't go on podcasts and propose new wars. We have enough of those right now.
Well, forgive me for trying to stay relevant.
So apparently Pennsylvania has the highest population of swingers, so...
Really?
Oh.
Huh.
Is that the Amish? That's the Amish, isn't it?
Maybe so, but this
Who
study's
knew?
from last year, and there isn't any current ones from this year, so it could have
someone
changed.
killed all the swingers in Pennsylvania.
Who knew? Polysylvania.
We'd love to see it.
I'm wondering if that's Philadelphia and Pittsburgh or the hits in between. Is that the metropolitan liberals or the area that God can't see?
The good Lord would want it that way.
Armageddon is a-coming, apparently.
How soon? Already?
It's already here!
I was making a coming joke, not the apocalypse is happening joke.
That's good. No, I was referencing the movie Clue from 1985. It's a great movie starring Tim Curry, Christopher Lloyd.
I've heard it's like the perfect comedy.
Why is J. Edgar Hoover on your phone? He's on everyone else's!
Now that is a joke that would age like fine wine.
Yeah, no, that joke didn't age a single fucking day. Except now they have a whole separate department for that in the NSA. But they are, I think, also based in Quantico.
Hi, Gary.
Hi. Do they check Riverside.fm, or do we have government agents on here?
I just assume there's one everywhere. I think I've got Frank on my phone, Gary's
Okay.
on my computer, and Tim is in my fridge.
Okay, Gary, that bit where Kyle proposed a civil war, that is real. Arrest him.
In Minecraft. I propose a civil war in Minecraft.
Minecraft! between the players and the villagers.
Mm-hmm.
You mean you can't intentionally start a raid between villagers and illagers? And
It's
so Clue.
So anyway, Clue, 1985.
Yeah, sometimes I get brought on a podcast to talk about a very good movie that everyone likes, and I'm like, this is so exciting because I get to watch the movie, and then I get to the podcast, and I'm like, what the fuck do we say about this movie? It speaks for itself. Watch Clue, please. I mean, it's basically my main review of this
Now,
movie.
I was brought on here for a reason, if I recall correctly.
Yeah,
Okay.
Weren't we in Clue together, Sam?
We were in Clue. Kyle and I actually, shout out to OK Zoomer, which is run by the iconic Billy Roddy.
Billy!
We did a reading of this script together. I was Ms. Scarlet, trying to play it as Carrie Fishery as possible.
Awesome.
And Kyle was Professor Plum.
Yes, not even attempting a Christopher Lloyd. Just
I mean, if you ever need someone with a Christopher Lloyd, but damn,
Pitch it to Billy, I'm sure they'd be happy to do it again.
Christopher Lloyd's voice is much airier and much more musical.
No, you get area and musical for emphasis. But then when you're talking, Twin Pines Mall, where there's
Okay, now you
layers
just
to it.
sound like JFK.
Who was not president in my Clue? 1985 was set. Sorry.
Eisenhower, right?
Yep.
50, yeah.
So who here likes Ike? Mustard, definitely.
I like his tax rates.
That's true. It was a very different party back then.
And it wasn't a key party, so sorry.
It wasn't. They were still terrible, but their brand wasn't conspiracy theories.
Unless you count McCarthy.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, but McCarthy was a bipartisan conspiracy theory.
Mm-hmm.
When actually the communism was just a red herring.
That's
Always
there we
was.
go.
The soup wasn't a red herring soup. I was talking about Edgar Allan Poe's Murder Mystery Party, and that's a joke in that series.
Oh, that's good.
I did appreciate the low-key acknowledgement that, yeah, capitalism is the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
Even if
we
it is
always
just
knew.
in Miss Scarlet's.
Yeah, it's really weird how long we've known that, and it's like, but we're not gonna stop it.
Yeah, because that would make the people who do have all the money really, really sad.
And you can't have sad rich people. Come
Won't
on.
somebody think of the poor little billionaires? Why can't I keep blackmailing the senator's wife and the nuclear physicist's widow and the war profiteer and the sexual predator psychiatrist and the brothel madam to keep giving me money?
That's something I wanted to bring up. Colonel Mustard is indeed a colonel, but Professor Plum is a doctor. He has never at any point mentions having taught at a university.
Well, he lost his medical license.
And yeah, but he's not a professor. That's all I'm saying. He's not a professor.
Yeah, and he
he's not
never
wearing
was.
Plum.
They just gave him another smart person title and forgot what the word professor meant.
Well, he does profess a little bit from time to time.
Well, anyone
That
can
he does.
profess.
That's not true.
I
That's
profess it is.
That's an ableist remark. There are some who are born without the ability to profess.
I mean, apparently when they characterized him in the board game, a lot of the time he's an archaeologist.
An archaeology professor?
That would
So
be much
he's about
cooler.
as credible as Professor Henry Jones.
Given Professor Jones's own backstory, would be in perfect characterization to be a sex pest as well.
Marion Ravenwood, pour one out.
Yep.
But
And we just opened a new portal in the multiverse where Harrison Ford plays Professor Plum.
that could work. I could see it working.
Yeah.
Against Carrie Fisher?
Yes.
Ah!
In the novelizations, Miss White is the maid. So
Yes.
I don't
Yeah.
know I don't know when that started, when the idea that was Miss White always the maid and they decided to make her a Black Widow and make a separate maid character, or did those characters join at some point? I'm not really sure. My history on Cluedo.
I think the movie was the first time she wasn't Mr. Body's housekeeper or cook. But the new the most recent one, Miss White is now Chef White. And if I remember correctly, she's butch.
Oh,
Cool. Like Butch Hartman, who used Martin Mull.
I mean, I get why they didn't do it, because if you have Madeline Kahn, you gotta give her the best that you possibly can. And besides her iconic ad-lib, she also gets really great lines like, husbands should be like tissues, soft, strong, and disposable.
he wasn't a very good illusionist.
Yes. There's a lot of people who have or will in the future work with the Muppets here. Madeline Kahn and Leslie Ann Warren were both guests on the Muppet Show. Madeline Kahn was in the Muppet movie. Tim Curry was later in Muppet Treasure Island. And when I pointed that out to my wife, she said they should make Muppets Clue. And then she thought about it for a second. She would like, it would be this. Nothing would change. That's a pointless movie.
Except you have to figure out who's the one human.
That would be the... No, that would be...
Mr. Body! No, wait,
Mr. Body's good. I was going to say Wadsworth, but...
the
sorry.
implication being Tim Curry is a Muppet.
Yeah, well,
Wait.
I don't know if Tim Curry could still do it. But Tim Curry should get a cameo, for sure. Tim Curry as the motorist. But it would be like the Psycho remake then. That's fine.
No! Psycho remake, more like psychic damage.
Well, the director did say he made that film because he said if I didn't, someone else would. So he did that to put a stop to Psycho remakes in the future.
Wow.
But we didn't stop shot-for-shot remakes.
No, because some movies are not in English. And what are Americans going to do? Read subtitles? What, like some foreigner?
Like some commie, which
Like
are a
some-
threat and a red herring in Clue 1985.
I do like how long they take belaboring the whole, we can't split up. If we do, someone's alone with the murderer, and then if the murderer kills, somebody will be dead.
It's always 8 dumb bitches telling each other exactly.
Yeah. I love the escalation of these people's reactions to seeing a dead person. Because the first time they're freaked out, this is like not what they were expecting this evening. Most of them have not seen a dead person before. They're like so distraught, and by the end they're just like, and just dump the guy without bothering to carefully lower him.
There's a lot of touching dead bodies, and for people who aren't, that's good thing. Fingerprints
And
DNA.
smooching.
Oh,
That whole sequence.
Swinging, necrophilia. What doesn't this movie?
Well,
have?
that
Sorry.
sequence is worth it for the punchline. Nothing happening here is illegal. It's not. It's a free country. I didn't know it was that free.
That's like 10 years later in American history.
There's a joke in BoJack where it's like, yeah, they just legalized murder for billionaires. It's like, what? No, and then checks her phone. Oh, look at that.
punishable by a fine means legal for rich people.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, none of these people are rich anymore because they've been paying so much money to Wadsworth, aka Mr. Body. Sorry that we spoiled the twist of a movie that is 40 years old.
One of the twists. He's only Wadsworth and he's only Mr. Body in one of the ending.
But
He
that
also-
ending is the true ending.
Here's
Yeah,
what really happened.
It does say here's what really happened, but like that was not how it was originally written or filmed. It was written that any of these three things happen, and it depends on which theater you go to. And then they had to be played in a sequence because DVDs didn't exist yet.
Well, yeah, but there was also a fourth ending that was going to be him killing
Yes.
all of them.
And then getting eaten by the dogs. Yes.
Yeah.
So he
I
mentions-
unlocked that secret ending. You gotta like clip through the wall,
Yeah.
and
Uh,
you gotta have Mr.
see.
Body jump several times on Scarlet, and then like you live through a wall that way, and that unlocks
I
the secret
looked
clue
through
ending.
the DVD trying to find that Easter egg, but all I got was David Tennant yelling at me about blinking. In the endings where he's not Mr. Body, he says that this is a friend of his, a house of a friend of his. Do they ever explain why there's secret passages, or do just all mansions have secret passages in movies? It's okay, get over it.
Because it's in the game. It's for the lore, you know?
Oh, so these guys are having a party in a board game. It's
It's the same
Clue-
reason Enderman shows up in the Minecraft movie. It's just part of the game lore.
Is Clue Hasbro or Milton
Parker Bradley.
Parker?
I think it's Parker. Okay.
Okay.
Clue.
Can we check real
Yeah,
quick? So
Yeah, it's
I
Parker.
think it might have been acquired by Hasbro.
okay, it's Parker. Fine. So the friend of Wadsworth that is loaning him this house for this party is the Parker brothers.
For a more Watsonian answer, it's probably a holdover from when the game was originally set in England, and English estates are more likely to have those kinds of secret passages as servants' corridors, because God forbid the aristocracy see the people who are actually doing work.
Right. Usually in American media that's set after the 20s and 30s, if they want to hand wave why there would be a secret passage, they say prohibition. Yeah, that's usually the hand wave is like prohibition. But they didn't do that here, and I was kind of expecting them to.
We can theorize about it.
Why is it called Cluedo in the UK?
I don't know. Brits are weird, man.
Dat Cluedo.
Dat Cluedo.
No, Kyle, you have to do it in a British accent.
That's Cluedo.
I just looked it up. It's a play on clue and the Latin word ludo.
Oh.
Which means
game.
Play. Yeah.
Okay. So was the assumption that Americans don't know Latin? I mean, I just proved that, I guess.
Duh.
Ito era.
But in the Latin alphabet.
Pax Nobiscum.
Sic Semper Tyrannis.
True that. That's like from Maryland's state anthem.
Sorry, agent who's listening to this. How about sorry?
Yeah, no, that we
Gary.
were obviously.
Yeah, sorry, Gary.
Gary, don't you know your Shakespeare? Come on, that was just a reference.
Like how that one whitest kids you know bit is just a whitest kids you know bit.
It is illegal to say.
It is.
I do think that the Hoover joke, the one that's a vacuum pun, it kind of has gone away, because I don't think Hoover is really an established vacuum brand anymore, is it?
I think it is. I'm gonna just go on Amazon right now and just type in Hoover and see, type in vacuum and see if I can see Hoover on the first page. Let's see. Let's prove you right or wrong.
We're doing our own mystery solving here, folks.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, no, not on the first page. Sanitaire and Bissell. But those might just be people who are paying Amazon. So take that with a grain of salt. I'm gonna type in Hoover. Yeah, no, Hoover has an Amazon store, so like they're active enough for that.
If you remade this movie today, then it definitely would have somebody who works for Amazon as one of the suspects.
Oh, well, you couldn't make this movie today
because of woke.
Because it would be Blazing Saddles. Yes.
Yeah, because Madeline Kahn is in it, and she was in Blazing Saddles. So just to be safe,
it's Twoo. It's
Clue, actually.
Oh yes, Clue.
I need to leave. I cannot handle much more.
It's Clue.
Okay. Before Kyle dies from a pun overload, let's just get it out of the way. Is the Force with it?
Absolutely.
Does the Pope shit in the woods? Sorry, mixing my things.
What?
No.
Does a bear shit in the wood?
This is the most with it of with it. Just like, if you haven't seen this movie, dear listeners, you're doing yourself a disservice.
Like I said earlier, it's the perfect comedy. Every Chekhov's gun fires. It's like a 21 Chekhov's
and every
gun
Chekhov's
salute.
Rope, and every Chekhov's candlestick,
and every Chekhov's revolver. Wait, I just said guns, damn it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Chekhov's lead pipe? Did we already say
Yes.
that one? Hang on. 1 + 2 + 1 + 1.
My
Third base!
My wife also said, some of these weapons are better than the others. And I was like, yeah, typically when people killed each other with ropes, it required more than one person to do the effort.
Yeah, and you would think that skinny little Madeline Kahn is the worst person to be strangling someone.
Well, she learned the lassoing from all those cowboys she met.
On Blazing Saddles.
Oh, good lord, I'm gonna roll up Blazing Saddles next, aren't I?
And then I'll be on it. That's my superpower now.
Right, well, before that happens, who has pluggables?
I'm Cutie Puppy Fire on most socials. I'm gonna keep it at that because I might just keep laughing through this entire thing.
I have a Discord server to notify you on future things that I am doing. I am currently working on a sapphic, swashbuckling whodunit audio drama podcast. I'm very excited.
I'm Kyle Calgren. You can find my YouTube channel at Kyle Calgren BHH. I'm really close to finishing my next episode as we're recording this. The episode is on Shakespeare and Prager University, the thing that is currently replacing PBS in the United States. I know. Anyway, I talk about the way it treats Shakespeare and how that's bad for all of society. And it should be hitting YouTube maybe before or soon when this episode drops.
So, funny story, a day before this episode aired, Kyle officially announced his YouTube retirement. So, this video he's plugging will be the last that he posts. His channel and Patreon will remain up, but he won't be making any new content. And as someone who has long admired his work and been so honored to become his friend and co-worker, I just wanted to add a little extra thank you, Kyle. To have you in my life in any form has been a true gift, and I wish you all the love and luck possible on the next steps of your journey. And in the spirit of Star Wars, to be there for the people who need us, this episode's Mutual Fund Spotlight goes to the Mutual Aid Sudan Coalition, a group founded to create a partnership between local Sudanese mutual aid networks and international supporters to address the wide gap between the small amount of funding received and the successful distribution tactics of the local population's informal support networks during a time of famine, war, and strife. The link can be found in the description, as well as on my various socials at Demisem. Our theme music is provided by Refractory Period, the two girls, one beat synth pop sensation. You can follow them on Instagram at Refractory Period, the band. To further support this podcast, please subscribe to us on your platform of choice, leave reviews, and share with your friends to boost our visibility, and consider joining our Patreon. And now, it's time to turn to the Chance Cube to see where our journey takes us next.
Oh my god! It's a 1!
It's a 1, which means our next episode is going to be The Land Before Time. Oh no, grab the tissues, everybody.
Oh, tree stars.
Yup.
That's how it could have happened. But how about this?
Six.
It is a 6 with... Oh my god, next is the original Psycho.
Did we predict this too? Indirectly?
How do we keep doing this? How?
But here's what really happened.
Two.
2.
Plus one. No, just kidding.
No, just 2.
It is a 2, which means that our next episode... Oh my god, we predicted it again. It's gonna be Blues Brothers.
Hey.
We will see you all then. Until then, stay safe, stay strong, stay beautiful, and may the Force be with you.